All right, welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have ILUS International. It trades on the OTC Pink sheets under the symbol ILUS and is a public M&A investment company operating out of New York, London, and Dubai, focused on adding shareholder value through innovation and growth. We are welcoming its managing director, John-Paul Backwell. And remember, when you submit your questions, please say the name of your company so we know where you're coming from. Welcome, John-Paul.
Great. Thank you very much for having me, Anna. Appreciate it.
All right, take it away.
Excellent. Good. Thanks. Thanks very much to the Emerging Growth Conference for having us today. Really appreciate that you've set this aside for us. And obviously a very warm welcome to our shareholders, prospective investors, and all the listeners interested in learning more about ILUS. So I think good morning, as the majority of you will be over in the US, but good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. So my name, as Anna said, is John-Paul Backwell. I'm the managing director, the boots on the ground here at ILUS. And what I'm going to be doing today is taking you through who we are as a company, our technology, really what's special about us, what's happening with ILUS at the moment, and what's on our roadmap. So, this presentation, for those of you who have already done a lot of due diligence on ILUS, there may be a fair few things that you already know, but there will also be some interesting tidbits of new information in there, which I think you'll find interesting and exciting. For those who are new to ILUS, I think this will be an enjoyable time. I think our company is very different to many that you've seen. And look forward to some questions at the end. So I've got 63 slides. I have about 25 minutes to get through them. So I apologize if you feel like I'm flying at some points. But again, there's questions at the end, and hopefully you can pick up on anything. And we're always available and approachable for questions thereafter. So without any further ado, I'm going to shoot into the first slide. And what I wanted to do firstly, in terms of setting off, is just lay a foundation and ask you a couple of questions. And the first one is, this is in terms of establishing your interest for the next 30 minutes, right? And my first question is, are you interested in learning more about a company with patented firefighting technology that can extinguish car fires in less than 30 seconds with as little as 1.6 gallons of water? All right. That might pique your interest if you've thought that through, if you've thought what it takes to put out a car fire, how much water, how much time it can take, how many vehicles might need to be on scene, etc. Are you interested in learning more about a company with patented firefighting technology that can extinguish oil fires, grease fires, and even electricity fires with water only? I don't know if you've ever tried to put electricity fires out with water only. You might have not enjoyed that experience. So we have patented technology that enables you to be able to do that with our water mist, and I'll talk more about that later. You must well be aware of the wildfire crisis that's currently plaguing the USA, Greece, Spain, many countries around the world, Australia, South Africa at the moment. Are you interested in learning more about a company with a comprehensive range of equipment to fight wildland fires? And finally, I'm going to head into some videos now, some quick introductory videos, but are you interested in learning more about a mergers and acquisitions company that has already acquired 3 companies this year, has increased its revenue by 462% in the second quarter, and is currently working on more than 10 acquisitions, actually, and multiple large deals and partnerships? So hopefully I've piqued your interest, and you know where you are for the next 20, 25 minutes or so of your time. I want to play just some introductory videos, just showing you some of our technology in action, and also separately to that, a brief wildfire video. So I'm going to hit launch. Right, so you will have seen some of our technology in action. At the beginning there, you would have seen our firefighting nozzle putting out a car fire in less than 30 seconds using less than 7 liters of water. So I believe that's 1.6 gallons of water. That's impressive. In fact, it's ghastly impressive. You would have seen, you may not have known what you were looking at in terms of that compartment fire, but that's our water mist technology cooling a compartment from a extremely high temperature, a temperature that's high enough to kill even most firefighters, down to a temperature which would enable them to enter the room and perform rescue, etc. Beyond that, you will obviously seen some videos around the wildfire crisis and some of the action we're taking as a company to perform in that area and provide technology that will assist. It goes far beyond that, but hopefully that has piqued your interest. Let's talk about the performance of the company so far. One thing we often stress about ILUS is that we're not a typical OTC company. We've got technology that's been around for a while. It's tried, tested, it's proven. So let's just quickly look at our second quarter performance, because that's the most recent in terms of what we've made public. As I said earlier, 462% revenue increase from quarter one to quarter two. So revenue in the second quarter was 2.86 million. Although we only traded for around about 2 months, we only started towards the end of January 2021. We did 509,000 revenue that quarter and increased significantly in the second quarter, as you can tell. Our profits, very importantly, increased by 375% to just under $1 million. Assets, upwards of $24 million. As I said, we've completed 3 acquisitions already this year. We've also signed a number of letters of intent. We've hired some key staff. We've got over 30 distributors in Firebug alone. We've continually been increasing our distributors. Our market cap as of the market close yesterday was just over 230 million. And very importantly, because we're very much on track for this, our revenue target for this year is upwards of $15 million. So that's a very brief snapshot of our performance. This presentation is not about our share price and the performance, at least on that front, although it has been looking very positive recently. But all that information, as you will well know, is available on OTC Markets, etc. So who are we as a company? We're a public mergers and acquisitions company which acquires and grows public safety technology companies, and our main aim through all of that is to add value to our shareholders. Our primary goal in terms of the technology that we develop is to increase safety, protect assets, and save lives. That's the heartbeat of our business. That's what keeps us really interested in what we do. And I trust that many of our shareholders and those that enjoy what we do and are invested in our business are thrilled by that primary goal of ours. We headquartered in New York, but operates out of New York, London, and Dubai. And I'll show you quickly our management team. We've got a dynamic and experienced team led by our CEO, Nicholas Link, whom many of you who will know and some of you may have communicated with. Nick's been a serial entrepreneur. I've been in business with him for a number of years. I was fortunate to know him and have worked with him. He's a real visionary and he's a great leader for the company. I myself have been in sales, marketing, business operations, business leadership positions for over 20 years, primarily in the public safety industry. So I have a good idea of what's going on. We have some real stars in the engine room of the business. Louise Bennett, our Chief Operations Officer. I always say that she is the engine room. She gets most things done. Irina, who's our Investor Relations Manager. Many of you may have communicated with her. And our recent appointee, Nadine Bell, who heads up our finance side of things. She works on the team with our CFO, Krishnamurti. He's primarily responsible for our quarterly filings, etc. Daniel Link, who works out of Dubai and essentially searches for deals, finds deals, works with brokers, etc., and then links in with Nick and myself. Thereafter, he also manages a number of staff in the Middle East region. Dr. Artem Belov he's a founding investor who's been with us since the beginning with Nicholas and myself from the Firebug days, and he's a very close advisor to Nick and myself. Claire Alanadi, who recently joined us as our Global Marketing Director, and Jason Bolsey as our Global Sales Director, both with a wealth of experience and people that I myself have worked with before and seen them deliver. What I've got coming up is a couple of slides just showing you the heartbeat of our business and why I say we're not your typical OTC company. And I've put these slides in particularly to show you, kind of give you a good feel for who we are and what we're about. Top left, our manufacturing facility in the UK and team members. It's a handover of a vehicle. I'm going from left to right, top to bottom. Handover of a vehicle in the Middle East, a demonstration in the UK. Our team at a conference or an event, a trade show in Dubai. To the right of that, a trade show in the UK, another trade show in the Middle East. And these are just some snapshots of some more recent events. Bottom right, our Dubai factory. Top right, Nick with ILUS International, a partnership that we have. Bottom left, some of our team members in the Dubai factory. Some of the vehicles we've done, bottom right, outside of our UK factory or UK offices, and some more top left, delivery of some vehicles and inspection taking place. Bottom right is our resident engineer, Kayom, who's behind a lot of the nozzle technology that we have. Again, just some more action photos. A demonstration in India, and some vehicles just before they're going through final preparation for delivery. Brings me to the problem. Why does ILUS exist as a company? And this is very important to us, and we've spoken about this a number of times in our various press releases. But just to reiterate that the modern world faces increased and rapidly growing threats to life safety. I'm sure if you're following recent events, and well, you should be, if you watch the news regularly, you'll well agree with this point. At the same time, emergency response services are under increased pressure, and they have reduced budgets as well as aging technology. We also live in an era where everything's instant. If you think of it, you can literally just turn on your Xbox or your PlayStation and your video game's ready to go. You can press a button and your food can be ready. So everything for us is instant. And when we call the emergency response services, we expect their response times to be instant. We expect them to have instant solutions available for the problems that we face. We expect to be safe. And so this is how we live these days. Increased danger, increased threats, and then with all of that, increased expectation on public services. So there's a rapid increase in population in cities, primarily in urbanization, the majority of people moving from rural areas to urban areas. As you well know, a huge increase in traffic in urban areas. There's a constant increase in infrastructure. There's increased mobile devices, electronics, and all of these devices and vehicles even these days have batteries in them. There's an increased use of chemicals, as we very well know with recent news, an increase in terror threats. And then there's more extreme weather events taking place. Again, as I've just said, there is an expectation from our side for emergency services to deliver instant solutions, respond quickly. With everything that we're used to, we don't expect a fire truck to arrive at our house or at the scene of an accident in 16 minutes, but that is the reality of what we face because of the problems I've mentioned above. At the same time, the emergency services are having their budgets decreased. To the right, by the way, was the recent explosion in Beirut, Lebanon, and that's not actually a terrorist attack. That's an explosion that took place, and that just illustrates the dangers that we face on a daily basis. People going about their normal lives, all of a sudden hundreds are killed instantly by an explosion. These are the threats we face in our world today. So what would the solution be? Well, there's a number of solutions. We certainly don't state that we are the only or the complete solution, but we have disruptive life-saving technology that strikes right at the heart of the problem. Whether it's our water mist technology, as I've shown you previously, but more so the rapid response technology that water mist technology enables smaller vehicles able to access areas a lot quicker. We have technology partnerships in place. We're well aware that we cannot do everything on our own. We cannot develop all the technology in the world to solve all the world's problems, even though that might be our aim. We have technology partnerships and collaborations in place. We realize the importance of artificial intelligence in terms of delivering solutions, effect solutions. We have wildfire technology currently. We're bringing more wildfire technology into our range. Surveillance and monitoring, response and communication solutions, those software solutions for public safety. We're working on wearable technology equipment to protect firefighters, to protect emergency responders. We have sustainable solutions. Whether our water mist technology is a sustainable solution, we also have commercial electric vehicles in line with that. And we're constantly acquiring companies, as we will talk about shortly, and making improvements to those companies so that they too have more solutions that are able to strike right at the heart of the problem. So of the 3 acquisitions that we've brought on board already, let me talk to you briefly about those. We have Firebug. Firebug is a company I personally have been involved with since late 2014. It's a company that Nicholas Link actually founded, and I joined him shortly thereafter. Louise Bennett joined him shortly thereafter as well. And it's originally, we started off with a firefighting nozzle with patented water mist technology, and the range then grew to everything, including even the largest firefighting vehicles in the oil and gas space and airports, etc. The range extends from the nozzles right through to on the left-hand side, the portable water mist backpack, the external firefighting lance known as the Mongoose, the Mistmax portable pumps, which are great for rapid response technology. Then the small rapid response vehicles, you see this one with the gull-wing doors, vehicles like that. Slightly larger vehicles, pickup truck type vehicles, and then, as I said, large firefighting vehicles with our lightweight plastic vehicle body technology. It's all based around our water mist technology. That is the foundations, the heart of Firebug. It's kind of the core technology that Firebug bases its solutions around. And just to quickly, if I can, explain how water mist works, it's quite simple that conventional technology uses water to wet the surface and removes heat from the fire triangle. So fire needs air, fuel, and heat to burn. All right. Using a lot of water, though, to reduce that heat means that you need large pumps, large trucks, more firefighters. It's far more expensive. It's environmentally unfriendly, and there's hazardous runoff, which causes environmental damage. Whereas Firebug's water mist takes the air and the heat out of the fire. So when the water mist droplets convert to steam, they take out the heat, they cause rapid cooling, as well as they suffocate the flame. They take the oxygen out of the fire. At the same time as they do that, they reduce the fuel, they eliminate the free radicals in the fire. So it pretty much tackles the fire from all 3 angles and does cause rapid cooling, rapid suppression of the fire, and in most cases, rapid extinguishing. I won't spend too much time on this slide. Suffice to say that we use 60 to 80% less water to fight fires, and water mist is capable of fighting multiple classes of fires. As I mentioned earlier, the grease fires, we can fight animal fat fires, grease fires, electricity fires, and the likes. So the classes I mentioned there below, A, B, C, D, and E, and F. Just also very quickly on this slide, Firebug today is currently the only market player to offer complete solutions from the nozzles right through to full vehicle solutions with proprietary technology. The product range is modular. The low pressure water mist is becoming more widely accepted globally, and Firebug is already selling its solutions globally. Second acquisition acquired early this year is a company by the name of Vehicle Converters, TVC, and they convert vehicles of various types for various solutions from medical through to grooming. I'll show you a couple of these vehicles shortly. They've been in operation for over 15 years. They're headquartered in Dubai. And as you can see, a number of their customers are very well-known names, including the United States Army, that has a large base in Jebel Ali in the Dubai area. So they've supplied some prestigious names, Emirates, Shell, BP, Emirates Airlines, that is. And as you can see, some well-known names. I'm going to show you just, these are actual vehicles that have been built by TVC, ambulances and mobile clinics, police vehicles, prisoner vans, canine units. So they have a wealth of references. Rescue vehicles, forensic labs. I apologize, I know I'm shooting through them. Hopefully you can get a recording of this and you can stop and play these back and have a closer look at them. Anti-riot vehicles, bomb squad vehicles, gun carriers, mobile workshops and mobile offices, again. And then food trucks, logistics vehicles, food and beverage vehicles, wheelchair transporters, passenger transporters, various customers. So that is TVC. They operate out of our Dubai factory, which I mentioned earlier, as do BCD Fire, our second quarter acquisition, and they've been performing really well. You would have seen some press releases on them, or if you haven't, go through our press releases in our data room on our websites, and you can read more about them, some of the contracts that they've landed, some of our plans for them. And what BCD Fire do is they install fire detection alarm systems, all types of fire safety equipment and systems, right through to kitchen and fire suppressions. They have some large contracts currently in place, and they've performed some large contracts previously, so working from the bottom up. A number of residential towers, DIFC, the Dubai International Financial Center, Dubai Airports, Emirates Hospital, another contract that they've landed recently. They've just completed the collective building in Dubai. They have contracts in place for Jumeirah hotels. They've done a number of their hotels previously, and one that we announced recently was their large contract for Burj 2020 building, which is to be the world's largest commercial tower. We have significant growth plans for BCD. I've mentioned this before in a press release. We're currently upscaling them to get the A license, which would enable them to do unlimited height buildings. So currently, there's a limitation in place, and they operate through a contractor. They currently have 12 full-time technicians and 4 engineers, and we're upscaling that to 48 via the C, B, and the A license, if that makes sense. So we're bringing on more staff to obtain the C license, which will enable them to do more sites and higher floors within a building, and then B and then A license. I trust that makes sense, but any questions, you're welcome to ask. We're also looking at improving their maintenance business revenue. Currently, there's no maintenance business revenue in the company, and of course, we're looking to develop that. It's a no-brainer for us. Then this brings me to some of the new technology that we're currently developing within ILUS. And the first of it is our fixed system technology, our fixed water mist technology, which has already been developed and is currently going through certification. And that's applicable for kitchen hood fires, battery compartment fires. This is a very important one. I'll probably come back to it if I have time. Battery bank fires within energy storage facilities, engine compartment fires, buses and trains, so public transport, electricity transformers. The fixed system technology is also very useful for dust suppression in mines, etc. And then where it is already well known and tried and tested, other than to a certain extent in kitchen advisors, data centers. So if you look at the image on the right, you might notice that make of vehicle. These are the threats we face: electric bike sales, well, a large cause of fires these days. And we have technology directly aimed at the space. There is currently discussions going on with large manufacturers of batteries, etc., to provide solutions in this space. We also have an existing electric vehicle range. We have an existing electric vehicle known as the E-Raptor 6x6. It's the world's first and only 6-wheel utility vehicle. But what we are now doing is expanding that to a full range of vehicles. We're adding the E-Raptor 4x4, a flatbed 4x4 vehicle and a dump bed, as well as then a road legal passenger transport, last mile passenger transport commercial vehicle, which can carry up to 4 people. And so we're expanding that range. The current vehicle that we have tried, tested, used globally, we have a number of customers using it. It's class leading, although it's the only 6x6. It leads in its class in terms of the weight that it carries. it can carry. So the nearest competitor can carry actually less than half of that weight because it only has 4 wheels in terms of electric vehicles. And the nearest competitor actually 40 miles of range on a single charge. So we're looking to improve that constantly, but we're obviously developing a full range of vehicles. Beyond that, we've got a number of partners.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're out of time, and we have a next presenter coming up. So this has been a fantastic presentation, and you can't imagine how many questions we have for you. So we need to have you back on because you've got a lot of questions from our audience. So we're going to send them directly to you so you can answer them. But please join us again on another conference. Great technology you guys have.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sharon. I appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you so much. Remember, everyone, as we transition to the next presenter, you'll see a black screen, but we're coming right back up with our next company.